Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I have the Pluot Metis Dark Moon. A Pluot which is supposed to have a particularly good flavor and strong taste. Well, everybody is trying to market their own products, but on a website by the company that developed those Pluots, the four different families of their Pluots, the four different Metis families are being described. One was Oxy, then there were two other ones, I don't know the name, and the fourth one is Dark Moon. And they say only about Dark Moon that it has a strong flavor and taste, not about the other ones. This Metis family was created by an American company, I think in California, but they also grow it in France and Spain nowadays, and most of the fruit we find here in the German supermarkets are from the Metis Oxy family. I've never had the Dark Moon before. The Metis Oxy Pluots, they look very different. There are some really dark ones, which I think would rather deserve the name Dark Moon than this reddish purplish thing. Then there are some brownish ones. So lots of different Metis Oxy, but this is the Metis Dark Moon. Okay. A mild plum flavor, which is not surprising. Those Metis there, it seems that plums are being hybridized with apricot pollen. So I guess already the first generation, the first generation product of this hybridization could have more in common with plums than with apricots. And then this generation is hybridized again with plums. So basically this is 3/4 plum, or since often a lot of stuff like epigenes and so on comes mostly from the mother, this is more than 3/4 plum. Well, it smells like a plum, but without any plum flavor. It just smells like this, how shall I describe it? This sour, fruity, actually, well, this one smells a bit like a flavorless plum or a watermelon. Yeah, like a watermelon. This here just smells wet to me. Well, but smell is not the most important thing. Of course, we are mostly after the taste. There is a mild plum flavor when I eat it, but very mild, much more mild than with the green gage or a blue plum or a mirabelle. Now let's try this other bigger one. By the way, the biggest claim to fame of those Metis Pluots is that they are less juicy, less messy than a plum. Juicy but firm. Like a plum can be a big mess. An apricot is just as big a mess when it's properly ripened, but those are supposed to be easy to eat without the mess even when ripe. Yeah, I think nobody claims they taste better than plums or apricots. They are just easier to eat. The big one is actually better. However, there is juice dripping down my fingers. How was this about easy to eat, huh? Well, they separate easily from the stone. That's good. I hate losing fruit. Which clings to the stone, yeah. The big one, which smelled a bit stronger than the small one, is also juicier. Okay, let's take off this label. I don't want to eat it. It's also juicier and it has some flavor, yes. Not more flavor or sweetness than a good plum. It's more like a 3/4 ripe plum. Well, this one here is just half ripe. This one is like 3/4 ripe. Well, let's see. This is the most ripe one. I didn't cut it open. But if what Metis, this Metis company claims is true, should be able to eat the ripe one without too much mess. Ripe and juicy, but the big one was still the best, the most flavorful one. Crunchy, but sweet, and also with a trace of flavor. Well, Generally, I'm not so impressed with those Metis. Basically, they are not different from, some new plum variety. And like with most fruit, it's more important that they ripened on the tree and are being picked at least half ripe for a nice sweetness and flavor, but still interesting. So folks, this was the Metis Dark Moon, a new Pluot from America. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the hybrid rich German supermarkets, and don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.